It's
absolutely.
Definitely full on comeback,
gold-plated comeback, and never going away again.
Yeah.
We've had our troubles
embrace.
in the past, but we, as you can hear,
back on the Christmas card list.
Well, that remains to be seen.
Oh yeah,
Still got to wait till Christmas for that. We've had our trouble in the past. Never with Orbital. It's always with us. It's Orbital's the child of us that has to suffer. So no more suffering for the children. We'll get along and sort it out. We've just had 2 very intensive weeks in the studio working on the live set, looking at sort of new stuff that is the potential next release, whether that's an album, EPs, whatever. In fact, we've sorted out a single already, because we were looking at an old track of ours that we did under a different name, actually, called Kinetic. We were going to put it in the live set, and we enjoyed it so much, the sort of revamping of it. We said, God, we should get this out. This is just great. It's a little celebration of what we've been doing just in these last 2 weeks. And look, we've even made a track that we can release and throw out there to the fans.
Since 2012, the landscape's changed quite a lot, hasn't it, in terms of releasing and, the music industry. And even in that short time, although, I guess you could still put things out sporadically then. I mean, does that appeal to you, just putting out tracks here and there, or EPs? Or
it reminds me a bit more like the white label times, when you used to do a record and then, make a track, compose a track, and then, you try it out on a white label as such and press up about 1,000 white labels for like DJs and things. It's a very instant like that, I suppose, in comparison. But except this, you can get it, your white label can go out worldwide, which is a great feeling. It's quite exciting.
I'm still ingrained in me is the concept of the LP. I like new music somewhere between sort of 30 and 45 minutes long from an artist. It's just, I'm probably never going to get out of that habit, that listening habit. So I would imagine in my head, creatively, we might end up working along those lines. But I'm not sort of wedded to that idea. It's like the sort of modern take on things is kind of, I quite like it when people just put out 3-track EPs and single tracks. It's quite freeing, because back in the sort of 90s and the early noughties, there was definitely this thing where you had to have a single with a B-side, with a pair of remixes, blah-de-blah, and it's just a bit boring being stuck into a format rather than doing the creativity you want and getting it out there.
That's interesting you say, you think of things in sort of, a 35 to 40 minute, as a piece of work that long. Do you sort of have that in the back of your mind, and do you have the live in the back of your mind as well, how it's going to go down in front of a festival crowd like this, a Blue Dot? Or?
I think so. I think sort of generally speaking, about to start this kind of turn of Orbital playing live, I would definitely think about what could be played live. Not entirely, because there's also that kind of balance on a record where, if it's all kind of big thumping 4 to the floor, I like a bit of balance, but I would definitely think about live when composing.
Will there be some warm-up shows then before the festival shows?
I don't think so. We were just talking about that, but
we've got intensive rehearsals, haven't we, for about 8 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, there's always the possibility of sort of tipping up at a local nightclub and playing a sneaky gig, I guess, but I'm not saying that's going to happen or anything, but if I really felt the need, I guess you could do something like that, but I don't think there'll be any kind of proper sort of paying gigs to warm up. I think we'll just dive straight in.